Well, Frostbite Falls is usually a quiet place, but today is a little different. For today brings the finals of the Northern Minnesota Checker Championships. As you can see, it's a gala occasion in Frostbite Falls. The town has gone sports mad.
Hooray!
And here playing in his usual slashing devil-may-care style is the defending champion, Bullwinkle Moose.
I'll move here.
Ignoring the bloodlust of the thrill-mad mob, Bullwinkle was about to end the game when...
It's a-comin'! It's a-comin'!
It's Charlie Parlor Car.
It's a-comin'! It's a-comin'!
Wonder what's a-comin'.
Last time Charlie yelled it's a-comin', it turned out to be Halley's Comet.
That thing do again? We just had one 80 years ago.
It's a-comin', I tell you!
What's a-comin', Mr. Parlor Car?
Look, the circus is a-comin', that's what's a-comin'!
It was true. At that very moment, the big wagons began to roll into town. And it wasn't just any old circus either. This was Bumbling Brothers Circus, the smallest, biggest show on earth.
Come on, it's your move, Zeb.
You're right, and I'm a-moving. I'm gonna go watch the circus.
Well, if that don't make a feller sore.
Bullwinkle, don't you like circuses?
Well, certainly, but I had a for sure win. Come on, Rock. I'm gonna give them circus tellers a piece of my mind.
You know, that's what I like about you, Bullwinkle. No matter how little you have, you're always willing to share.
And in a little while, our heroes were at the vacant lot where the circus was being set up.
Gee, look, they got a real lion tamer, Bullwinkle.
Claude Badley, king of the cage.
Don't we know him from somewhere?
You mean his voice is familiar?
No, his face.
There's a switch. Hey, you in charge here?
That's right.
Well, how come you busted up our checker game?
Oh, I'm sorry about that. Wait right here. I get a free ticket for you to the circus.
Well, that's better. Okay, where is it?
Where's what?
My free ticket to the circus.
You're some kind of a nut. Get out of here.
Boy, he sure changed his mind in a hurry.
Yeah, Indian giver.
Ah, there you are.
Just for that, you can keep your doggone ticket.
But I want you to have it.
Nope, now I'm sore.
Well, if you insist.
Gee, Bullwinkle, that wasn't very nice.
Maybe you're right, Rock. I wouldn't want to be a big sorehead. Not with these antlers. Okay, mister, I'll take the ticket now.
You stop bothering me, I'll have you run off the lot, you mooching moose.
Mooching moose! Mooching moose!
Gesundheit.
All right, you gonna give me the ticket or not?
But, my dear moose, I've been trying to. Here.
Are you trying to make a monkey out of me?
No, monkeys we got. A jackass, maybe?
Now I've had just about enough.
So it's not enough you want a free ticket, now you're picking a fight.
There's two of them.
Of course there is. This is the...
Bumbling Brothers Circus.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, we're the Bumbling Brothers.
Hugo?
And I go.
You go and I go.
Yeah.
So do we. Well, that explains it. I guess everything's okay.
Well, that's an odd statement to make this early in the story, for just a few cages away, the circus's ferocious lion tamer was untaming a ferocious lion.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it, Satan. Go ahead, get sore. Yeah.
Good heavens, it's true. Claude Badley, the lion tamer, is really that heel of heels, that king of the crumbs.
Say the name.
Boris Badenov.
Ta-da!
Well, what fiendish plan does Boris have in mind? And why is he tampering with a lock on the lion's cage?
Silly boy.
We'll find out next time in Lion in the Bedroom or The Cat's Pajamas.
There was once a handsome young prince named John, and where one finds a handsome young prince, one is most certain to find a beautiful young princess. Her name was Tinsel, and they were very much in love.
I love you, John.
I love you, Tinsel.
They were never happy unless they were together.
Oh, I'm so unhappy.
Peekaboo. Guess whom?
Oh, now I'm happy.
Day after day, they went out hunting or fishing. Night after night, they went to balls at the funny house at the beach. They sang and danced and ate sugar plums out of the same dish. They shared delicate secrets together.
How much money do you have?
Oh, 100 million grinkles. You know, give or take 1,000 or so.
Va-va-voom, that's a lot of grinkles.
You can say that again.
Va-va-voom, That's a lot of grinkles.
Then finally, as everyone knew they would, they were married. And they moved into a beautiful white castle high on a green hill. They were so full of joy that everybody called it the Happy House.
I'm so happy.
That is, everybody but one, an evil old witch named Grumpyra, who hated happiness.
It's disgusting. I'll put a stop to it if it's the last thing I do.
Then, taking a basket of poison apples, she hurried off to the castle.
Who is it, dear?
That's an old hag with mussed-up hair selling apples.
Apples?
Yes, you know. The poison kind that you take a bite of and they put you to sleep for 1,000,000 years.
Oh, well, tell her we don't want any.
We don't want any.
With that, the witch was roughly thrown from the castle. And once again, happiness echoed from within. By now, Grumpyra was near the breaking point, and storming back to her cave, she took a huge black kettle and set herself to the task of concocting a mysterious, evil-smelling brew.
Now, where did I put the gruffy dust? Oh, yes, here it is. A pinch of this and a pinch of that. A dewy button and a French fried bat. Oh, these witches' brews are murder, but what are you going to do?
A short time later, she had finished and hurried off to the castle, where she stole into the garden and sprayed every rose with the strange mixture.
It's done. Now, when the princess comes into the garden to pick roses...
The garden is beautiful today. I shall pick some roses for my prince.
She will prick her finger...
Ouch!
...and turn into an ogre.
And when the beautiful young princess, who was now an ugly old ogre, went into the castle...
Hello, dear. Wearing your hair a little differently, aren't you?
It's worse than that. I turned into an ogre.
A closer look told the prince that what she said was true, and this made him very unhappy. The old witch's plan had worked, for the castle was now the saddest place on earth. Now the story would have ended right there, but for one thing. Ogres love to cook, and that night, when John's ogre wife set his evening meal in front of him, it was the most magnificent food he had ever tasted.
Dear, it. That was the best meal I ever had.
So pleased was the wife by the compliment that she went right back into the kitchen and cooked some more. And before long, being so full of fine food made the prince happy. This, of course, made the ogre happy, and once again, happiness rang from the castle. Grumpyra, of course, wasted no time in flying back to the castle to see what had gone wrong.
Say, laughing boy, how could you possibly be happy with an ogre for a wife?
Well, it's the food it cooks. Have a bite?
Say, that is tasty.
Join me?
Love to?
They both dug in and ate all John's ogre wife could cook, and she cooked all they could eat. The food was so good that even Grumpyra, for the first time in her life, was happy.
You know, she's such a good cook that I could kiss her.
Oh, no, you must never do that, boy.
All right, but why not?
Because if a handsome prince kisses her, it will break the spell, and she will turn back into a beautiful princess who can't cook for sour apples.
She? Oh, I'm glad you told me.
As a precaution against ever kissing the ogre by mistake, the prince let his beard grow and wore a gag over his mouth whenever he wasn't eating. Things were well and happy for a score of years until one day, when John's ogre wife was giving some scraps to their pet dog, he affectionately licked her face and she instantly turned back into the beautiful princess.
What happened?
The dog kissed her.
You don't mean...
I'm afraid so. His name is Prince.
That meant an end to the good cooking, and the prince and the witch were frantic.
Doesn't it make you happy that I'm beautiful again, John?
Quiet. Do you remember what you did?
I think so. Come on.
Now, having an ogre for a wife has its drawbacks, but John was happy that way. And very soon thereafter...
A pinch of this, and a pinch of that, a dewy button and a French fried bat.
John was to be very happy once again.
the circus is in town, and along with the peanuts and popcorn, it's brought a big top full of trouble for Bullwinkle. First, he ran into the twin brothers who own the show.
Who go bumbling?
And I go bumbling.
And I'll be in Scotland for you.
Then later we found that the lion tamer, Claude Badley, is really Boris Badenov, and right now he's busy infuriating a man-eating lion by making faces at him.
Who's making faces? I'm imitating a moose. Pretty soon he'll be a moose-eating lion.
Meanwhile, back at the entrance...
Gee, you mean you're giving us free tickets to your circus, Mr. Bumbling and Mr. Bumbling?
Just call me Hugo.
No, don't call him Hugo.
Why not?
'Cause I'm Hugo.
Hey, that's right. Call me Igo.
Yeah, I go too.
Well, maybe we better go inside.
And in a few minutes, our heroes were walking through the big top looking at all the menagerie animals.
Menagerie my foot, these are for real.
Then there was the circus itself.
And now, ladies and gentlemen,
Presenting Bumbling Brothers.
3-ring circus.
I only see one ring.
We put all three inside each other.
It's a low-budget circus.
And now, here are the 4 flying calendars.
-2.
Little trapeze trouble in Winnemucca.
Yes, our heroes enjoyed the acrobats, the jugglers, the elephants.
Let's get on with the plot. When do the bad guys comes in?
And then it was time for the lion tamer's act.
That's more like it.
Ready, Mr. Badley?
Wait a minute, I haven't got the lions ready yet. Okay, boys, put the teeth in the box. That's right.
Yes, so cowardly was Boris that he used only ancient lions with false teeth and made them take out their plates before they went into the cage.
Oh, Boris, you're such a yellow belly.
What are you talking? I could still get gum to that out there.
But there was one lion whose teeth were definitely his own, Satan the man-eater.
Pardon? Moose-eater.
Well, Boris went through his act with the old toothless lions.
Up, Simba.
Hokey smoke, Bullwinkle. Those lions are so old their joints are creaking.
Yeah, looks like he's using the lion of least resistance.
Boris, they are laughing at you.
Well, that does it. Natasha opened the door of the special cage.
And let Satan out.
Go ahead.
And the trembling Natasha tripped the lever that would open the cage door.
Oh, Boris, aren't you frightened?
Not as long as I'm in this nice, safe cage.
Yes, the fiendish Boris had set Satan's cage in backwards, and when the door opened, the fierce beast leaped not into the cage, but into the audience.
Bullwinkle, the lion is loose.
And he don't creak a bit either.
We gotta do something.
Right.
But what?
Hey, I know.
What?
Let's run.
We can't. We're heroes.
Couldn't we get preempted once?
I know. I'll fly around his head and try to distract him. You take this net and try to throw it over him.
And Rocky launched himself through the air straight at the snarling lion. In a rare exhibition of aerial skill and courage, the plucky squirrel zoomed closer and closer to the cruel jaws, while the milling crowd quickly made its way to safety. Meanwhile, Bullwinkle was edging closer with the net, and then it happened.
What? What happened?
You tripped over the net.
Oh, come on now. Would I be stupid enough to trip over the net when I... Oop!
Bullwinkle, are you up?
Yes, Rocky's kind heart had gotten him into trouble again. Now he lay recumbent beneath the lethal claws of the man-eater.
Moose-eater.
Squirrel eater.
Never fear, Rock. I'll think of something.
I don't think I can wait that long.
Well, at least wait until our next episode, A Red Letter Day, or Drop Us a Lion.
Hi there, culture bugs. Today's epic is a poem about the English garden, name of the cherry tree. Up into the cherry tree, who should climb but little me? I held the trunk with both my hands and looked abroad on foreign lands. I saw the dimpling river pass and be the sky's blue looking glass, and dusty roads go up and down with, hi there, Dusty.
I say, Hatchet, I do believe there's a poacher in your cherry tree.
A poacher? Confound the rascal.
I saw the pleasant garden lie, adorned with signs before my eye. Hatchet Manor, keep out, this means you. Hey, that don't rhyme.
I say, who's up there?
Ain't nobody here but us cherries.
Will you come down at once?
Well, you asked for it.
Good heavens, what's happened to Hatchet?
I cannot tell a lie. I did it with my little cherry tree.
Peabody here, and I'll be with you as soon as Sherman completes his geography lesson. One last question, Chairman. See this spot on the globe?
That's China, Mr. Peabody.
Correct. Now tell me, what is a China clipper?
A barber.
It would seem you need a little brushing up. Therefore, today's historical destination will be China.
Oh, boy, while we're there, I can learn how to play chopsticks.
Oh, you need a lot of brushing up, my boy. Wasting no further time, I set the Wayback Machine for the year 214 BC, and the place, the borderline of China proper and Mongolia. In less time than it takes to chop a bowl of suey, we found ourselves standing in the center of the bleak wastelands of Mongolia.
What are we going to do here?
We are going to witness the building of the Great Wall of China.
Well, who's going to build it? I don't see anyone.
True, there wasn't a soul in sight. However, 5 minutes later, the place was swarming with ferocious-looking Mongols, led by the legendary Fungus Khan.
Now, hear this, you guys. We ravage Mongolia until there's nothing left to ravage. Now, we gonna extend same courtesy to China. Also,
With that, they spurred their horses toward the border.
Is there anything we can do to stop them?
There certainly is. Knowing Mongolia like the back of my paw, we were able to take a shortcut and cross the border into China well ahead of the oncoming horde.
Look, Mr. Peabody, there's a house.
It belonged to a wealthy merchant named Chop Suey Louie, who had made a fortune exporting chow mein.
what is all this jazz about oncoming horde?
It's true, Mr. Louie. The Mongols are going to ravage China.
Well, live and let live. So long as they don't bother me, I don't care.
Yes, but the route they're taking happens to come right through this house.
I don't believe it.
Now do you believe it, Mr. Louie?
That's the 10:15 for Moscow. It's running late as usual.
Well, if it was, it left the conductor behind.
You better take it on land, Buster. We coming through here every day. Adios.
I guess you believe us now, huh, Mr. Louie?
But Louie was no longer with us. A quick search of the building turned him up in the basement, packing enough fortune cookies to last at least a year.
What are you doing, Mr. Louie?
I'm getting out while getting is good.
I can only surmise that Fungus Khan has intimidated you.
No, but he got me plenty scared.
Sure enough, his queue had turned snow white, which is a delightful fairy tale, I might add.
Don't let him bluff you, Mr. Louie. Be firm. Stop him from coming through your house.
That was all the incentive Louie needed. The following morning, after laboring at the borderline for 5 hours, he joined us over a steaming bowl of bird's nest soup.
That takes care of Fungus Khan.
Gee, Mr. Peabody, I'll bet he built the Great Wall of China.
Knowing that only I could construct the Great Wall in the short time of 5 hours, we ran to the window and saw that my suspicions were correct.
No trespassing. Will that stop them, Mr. Peabody?
This question was quickly answered, for at that very moment...
Stand back. Louis gonna vamoose.
He can't go, Mr. Peabody. Isn't he supposed to build the Great Wall?
Great Wall? What is a Great Wall?
It's the one thing that will keep the Mongols out of China.
That's a good idea. I gonna build it.
Being a man of considerable means, he hurried to the nearest rock shop.
I want 1,200 million pieces of rocks.
You want that to go?
No, I gonna eat it here, smarty.
His next stop was a cement shop directly across the street.
Give me 44 million bag of cement.
You want that gift lot? Dashing to the borderline, he threw himself into his work. At dawn the following day, Sherman and I ascended a hill overlooking the Mongol plains, and there, thundering their way toward the border, were Fungus Khan and his men.
Marvelous horsemanship, Mr. Peabody.
Yes, but when they see that wall, I suddenly recalled that we hadn't seen the wall, and when we did...
Oh, my gosh, he built it straight up into the air.
Obviously, this would never stop the Mongols. All they had to do was ride around it. I had to act and act fast.
Well, that's a pretty great wall, huh?
Stand aside, Louis. There's no time to lose. A rapid analysis of the formation enabled me to locate the all-important keystone. Just as the Mongols poured over the hill, I deftly plucked the keystone out and... the structure toppled to earth, forming a great wall 1,500 miles long. As for the Mongols, they experienced their own version of a Wall Street crash.
Well, it's all done, Mr. Peabody. But why is Chop Suey Louie planting acorns on top of it?
Well, obviously, Sherman, he hopes someday to raise walnuts.
Everybody's supposed to have fun at a circus. But as usual, things are different in Frostbite Falls. Nobody's having fun here. You see, a mean lion tamer named Claude Badley, who bears a remarkable resemblance to Boris Badenov,
Funny how that works out.
has let loose a ferocious lion named Satan into the crowd. They're not having fun. Of course, the circus owners, Hugo and Igo Bumbling, are panic-stricken.
We are not having fun.
In trying to capture Satan, Bullwinkle fell into his own net.
I'm not having fun.
And Rocky the Flying Squirrel was swatted out of the air and now lies helpless under the lion's huge paw.
I'm sure not having fun.
And as for Boris and Natasha,
We're having fun.
Boris, that was one of the nastiest, dirtiest tricks you've ever pulled.
Bullwinkle, do something.
Oh, hey! Hey, you lion! Sir!
It's not working.
I'll have to try something different.
And Bullwinkle did try. He flapped a handkerchief at the lion.
Toro!
He did a tap dance wearing a funny hat.
Do-do-do-do-do.
He juggled 4 balls at 3, 2. He threw 1 ball up and down. Nothing worked.
The only thing I got left is my pocket comb.
You taking notes, Natasha?
Notes. Music. That's it, Bullwinkle. Music. You gotta play something.
Play? On what?
Your comb.
Oh.
And Bullwinkle slipped a piece of tissue paper over his comb and began to hum through it.
Bullwinkle, I think it's working.
Yes, the lion removed his paw from our furry hero and began to stalk slowly toward Bullwinkle.
Boris, the lion isn't going to eat the squirrel.
Who cares? He eats the moose instead. That's bad.
Yes, the lion drew closer and closer to the music-making moose. Then Bullwinkle began to play a lullaby. The lion's eyes grew heavy, and before the astonished crowd, Satan the fierce lion lay down, closed his eyes, and went fast asleep.
Hugo, did you see what I seen?
Of course not. It's an optical delusion.
Wow. Bullwinkle, that was sensational.
Down, boy. Down, I say. Get down there, you.
You're a little late, aren't you, Mr. Badley?
Well, better late than never, boys.
That was a terrible thing to do, Mr. Badley.
Yeah, shame on you.
One more stunt like that,
And we're going to write you a nasty letter.
A nasty letter? He almost got us ate up by a nasty lion.
You're not even going to fire him?
we can't.
Can't.
He's the only...
Lion tamer we got.
And the circus.
Just isn't a circus.
Without a lion tamer.
So he's got us.
Over a bell.
Hey, wait a minute. You do have another lion tamer.
We do? Where?
Right here.
There must be some mistake. The only feller here is me. Me?
You can do it, Bullwinkle. You'll tame him with your trusty hummer-comb.
A sensational...
Idea. You're hired.
But what about...
You're fired.
You can't do this to me. I have my rights. You'll pay for this. Mark mine words.
Darling, they stopped being scared of you.
Never mind, Natasha. In the immortal words of Count Dracula, I have only begun to fright.
And Boris tossed a lighted match into a nearby pile of straw and started a raging conflagration.
And a big fire, too.
Don't miss our next episode, The Fire Eaters or Hot Lips.